Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone going? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Free Tuesday Training, our regular Tuesday evening spot here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Glad to have you all here. Hope you've all had a good start to your week. I certainly have. Been a lot of exciting stuff happening, so hopefully you are all in the same sort of boat. Just give it a few seconds here, let a few more people come on board. If someone there can just let me know that they can hear and see me, and then we'll get started. It's starting to cool down here in Florida. I know I sound strange, but I am living in Florida. I'm originally from New Zealand, but we will get into that shortly. So yeah, I've got some exciting training for you tonight. Basically, Facebook lead generation. It's one of the best social media platforms to do any kind of business on, and it's they've counted up to now over 1.4 billion accounts on Facebook and growing. So certainly should be more than enough people to be talking to about your business, regardless of the type of business or niche that you are in. So there we go. We've got people coming in, and we're a couple of minutes past the hour. So let's just get going, get into it. So thank you all once again for coming along. What I'm going to do is basically start sharing my screen, and we'll get right into the presentation. So what we can do at the end of the presentation, I will open up the Q&A or any questions in the chat, and we can go through them from there. So please feel free to write any questions that you have into the chat or the Q&A box, so we can answer them for you at the end of the presentation. But this should be a lot of fun, and it's my best lead generation platform, so I'm happy to share everything that I'm doing. So just 1 second, and I will start sharing my screen. Right then, here we go. Let's start getting into some Facebook prospecting or lead generation, same sort of thing. So it's all about building your business using the great social media platform of Facebook. So before we get started, I just want to give you a bit of background on myself. So who is Clive Jeffrey? Basically, I'm a family man first and foremost. These are my 2 beautiful children, Jess and Scott, and my lovely wife, Dawn. Dawn is actually from America. I met her over here back in 1984 when I was backpacking around the world, and took her back to New Zealand as a souvenir. And we basically were living over there since then, and we used to come back regularly. And about 2012, I think it was, our kids decided they want to go to school over here, and I, at that stage, was sick and tired of my printing and graphic design business that I'd been running since 1992, I believe it was, yes. So we sold that up and sold a house and everything, and we moved over here to Florida, and absolutely love it. So that's a little bit about me. But basically, as I say, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Started working part-time jobs while still at school. Didn't like school or university very much. First job was in sales, which is purely, I guess you could say, by accident. I applied for a job that happened to be a sales cadetship and got it, and never looked back. It was really something that has really served me well. I always wanted to work for myself, And as I say, started my first business in 1992 with my wife, and that was a printing and graphic design business. And it's still running to this day. And we sold it back in 2013 as we moved to the USA. So once I arrived here in America, I was looking for something to do, and then actually ended up considering real estate industry and property investing, which I was dabbling in New Zealand as well. And then was introduced to the home business industry by one of the real estate agents that I happened to be dealing with. So, it was good to be able to find something quite unexpected that I truly now have a passion for. And it's been basically a matter of transferring all the sales and marketing skills that I built up over the years and taking them online. My role in our printing business was always sales. I never was trained as a printer, never worked in a print factory as such. I was always in the sales and marketing side of things, dealing with advertising agencies and blue chip accounts where we would come up with the advertising campaigns and produce all the printing and marketing material for them. So always been around sales and marketing. So I'm able to bring a lot to the home business industry and really help people get their own home businesses going, or taking any business for that matter online, regardless of what it is. So you may be involved in a coaching type business or a real estate type business. Regardless of what it is, it doesn't matter, brick and mortar, the same skills are required to market online, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with people. People buy and sell products, not they may be hiding behind a computer screen, but at the end of the day, the ones making the buying decisions and pulling out credit cards, etc., are people. So if we can't relate to people, don't have the people skills, simply not going to succeed in this business. And that's going to be the main feature of this discussion. So basically what you're going to learn tonight, first of all, the correct mindset for successful prospecting. So important. Now I'm going to show you how you can identify your ideal prospects, where you can actually go about finding your ideal prospects, and the all important of what to actually say to your prospects, and then what to do with your leads once you've generated them. It's all very well to get all their information, but then how are you going to manage it and follow through and convert them into sales? So first of all, this is probably the most important part of successful prospect on any social media platform, that is, regardless. We're going to be looking specifically at Facebook tonight, but it doesn't matter what platform you're on, the same rules apply. And essentially you could say the same rules apply as doing it offline, any kind of marketing. Mindset really is everything. The same skills you would use if you went into a networking group meeting or even a social occasion. If you went in making this mistake of trying to get someone into your business or sell them on a product or get the listing for their house, you're going to really miss the mark if that's your whole mindset going in. Because people can sense that commission breath. And as I say, that can be still related to if you're trying to get a listing of a property. If you're all over people, you're going to just be repelling them rather than attracting them towards you. At the end of the day, this is all about attraction marketing. We want to basically be able to attract the correct or ideal target prospects to us, and that's what we're going to go about looking at tonight. So if you've got that mindset of you just need to make money now, again, you're on hiding to nothing. And looking at the home business industry, whining, complaining that you're not getting the support. At the end of the day, this is your business we're talking about here, and you've got to man up, woman up, take responsibility for it, and work it well, and do it the right way. Otherwise, you are going to be left behind and just finding it hard, and then blaming everyone else. If that's your mindset, well, as I say, you're on a hiding to nothing. If you're going to hit hurdles. There's no doubt about it. There's a big learning curve, and that's one thing I've learned coming online is that as I say, I was a successful entrepreneur on an offline business, and even though I had those people skills, bringing it online, there's been a big steep learning curve, and if you quit after the first hurdle you hit, well, again, you're not going to succeed at all. And that the same applies to an offline business. Doesn't matter. You've still got to work the business. It could be a lawn mowing round, for example. If you don't work it and go and look for new lawns to mow, well, you're just not going to grow your business. And there's a word that I often hear is, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, there's so much to learn. Again, it's just, take responsibility for your business, learning what needs to be done, finding what works for you. And there's always outsourcing, so that's another topic, but you don't have to do every little thing yourself. Have that attitude of being a business owner and treat it seriously as a business, and the business will look after you. Just a little more mindset continued. Now, to help with this, do daily affirmations. Now, these are just an example of, you can start off with, I'm happy and grateful that money comes into my life easily and effortlessly. Then now you can start anything off with it, I'm happy and grateful for, and just list them all, what's relevant to you in your life. That's a very, very powerful thing to do, regardless of your business. So as I say, we're looking at this as the overall picture here. But if you haven't got this right from the outset, then there's no point in generating leads, because you're not going to convert them, especially in the online market or area. You really are not going to be able to convert them into sales if you haven't got the positive outlook on life in general, because at the end of the day, I'm sure you've heard the cliche that people join people and do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if you missed out on that point, as I say, you're just not going to get anywhere. And then the other one, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, the daily affirmations. Now, this was actually a term invented by a guy named Noah St. John, and he wrote the book, The Secret Code to Success. If you haven't read that, I can strongly recommend that you do. And basically, what he did is take a twist on the affirmations and turn them into a question, because if you ask or state your affirmation in a question form, then your brain just can't help it. Your subconscious mind can't help but look for an answer. So, for example, if you say, why does money come into my life easily and effortlessly, then your mind will just go into overdrive trying to figure out why it does this, and it's going to start supplying you with answers. It's just the way your mind works. It can't help but try and figure out an answer to a question. So really work on those two. I know a lot of people think, no, just tell me the guts of it, I don't need any of this stuff. Well, I can assure you that's probably the biggest mistake you're going to make. Certainly been proven to me time and time again. As I say, I've trained salespeople in the offline markets and in the online area as well. And if you haven't got your mindset right, you're just not going to get anywhere. Even if coming down to sports teams, a sports team with the wrong attitude or wrong mindset is just not going to win a game. They could be the most talented group of players, but if they haven't got the right mindset, they're just not going to win. So the thing you want to keep in mind, and this again comes back to mindset, is that you want to be a servant leader. And again, if you're the real estate agent, you want to be there really taking the stress out of the sale process for your clients. So if you're trying to get a listing for a house, they're going to, it's a stressful time. It's they're dealing with their biggest asset, and they're concerned that they're going to get the right price, or there could be a situation where they need to sell in a hurry. Regardless, if you're there to serve them and make it known that you have their best interests at heart, and that's your main concern, rather than you're just trying to get the listing or get the sale, whatever, you're going to be really find that you are going to have, at the end of the day, it's going to be so much more effortless to get the right people to come towards you because of the way you treat them. It's all about making it about them and not about you. And the other old cliche, people remember, they won't remember what you say, but they will remember how you make them feel. So if you can make them feel comfortable and that you're going to really look after them because you've got their best interests at heart, then they're going to know, like, and trust you. And that everybody wants to feel better about themselves. So if you can go about keeping that to the forefront of your mind while you go about your business, you really are going to build yourself a strong business with a lot of repeat customers coming back because of the person that you are. So, always strive to be the leader that you are looking for. So, and again, my presentation here is biased towards the home business industry, but as you can see, everything relates to no matter what type of business you're operating, be it brick and mortar or an offline business of any kind, and obviously an online business. So the next step, now that we've got our heads straight, how are we going to identify our deal prospects? The first thing to do is you've obviously got to know your product. You've got to have product knowledge, and you've got to know the ins and outs of it, what it can do for your ideal prospects. And once you know that, then you can start writing down. And I strongly recommend that you actually go through this process if you haven't already, and really figure out, what would be the type of person that you would like to deal with. So again, if you're looking at the real estate agent, who's your ideal customer? Is it, young families looking to buy a bigger house? Is it older empty nesters looking to downsize? Or are you wanting to deal with investor type people? Again, really think about who fits your personality and the type of business that you want to operate. There's no, there's a saying that goes around that if you're marketing to everybody, you're marketing to no one. So it's really, really important to get a clear picture in your mind of who you would like to work with, because you have that power. This is your business, so why not make it enjoyable? So it all comes down to starting in the correct way. You've got to know clearly, and then as I mentioned earlier, your product. What do you want to sell them? What is your product? And get really, really detailed about it. Note how it's going to be able to solve their problems. And, once you get into your prospect's mind, what is their worldview, and their interests, their concerns and problems and goals. And again, as we look at that real estate situation, every one of those categories I mentioned, like for young families looking to upsize their house, or older empty nesters looking to downgrade, they've got different concerns and interests. So really get into their head and figure out who you're looking for. These will hopefully give you some good memory joggers to really hone in and write your list. Even coming down to the prospect's language, the terms that would be used if you're in a specific industry. Again, if you're talking to investors, they might be looking to terms like for sale by owner, or that type of thing. Words and phrases that are specifically used by your target market. So, and again, like you're selling skateboards, you're going to have a completely different language to the people buying skateboards than someone who's buying dog food, for example. Completely different target market. And again, someone who's got cats and someone who's got dogs, are completely different. You can't just say that I'm in the pet food industry. Really hone in and figure out who you are wanting to deal with. Get really, really specific. The more detailed and specific you get, the easier your job is going to be from the outset. So then clearly synchronize your thoughts as to how your product is going to benefit the target market, and answer their problems and concerns that you've identified. And you're well on the way to creating a solid business foundation. So now that we know who our ideal prospects are, what they think and what's keeping them up at night, etc., where are we going to find them? Where are they likely to hang out on Facebook? What type of groups would interest them? Which individuals are they likely to follow? And by this I mean, is there some celebrity type person within your product niche that they are likely to be attracted to? Again, let's look at the real estate situation. There may be high profile property investors, for example, that could be that could attract your target audience. Or if you're in the pet food industry, there could be a specific individual that, for example, is a dog trainer that has a very high profile that would attract people that would be ideal for you to be talking to. And these people, again, likely to hang out in different groups on Facebook, different fan pages, or for those celebrity type people. So really think about where you're going to find these people. And as I mentioned, the fan pages, which ones are they likely to go ahead and like? And again, it could be either product type fan pages or celebrity. And by celebrity, I mean, I'm not talking movie stars, but I'm talking celebrities in their own field. For example, there's that one dog trainer, Caesar, somebody or other. I can't remember his name, but you get, he has his own TV program. So he might, you might find a lot of dog people, well, you will find a lot of dog people following him. He'll have his own fan page. So if you're into that, go onto that fan page, you're going to find your target audience and people that you can be talking to. And we'll go in how we go about doing that. So now that we've identified our ideal prospects, we figured out where they are hanging out, then we've got to work out what we're going to say to them, because, you know, obviously that's going to play a huge part into the success of our lead generation process. But the things, again, just to recap and remember, is that the goal here when we're prospecting is to make a new friend and build a relationship, not to recruit someone, not to sell someone, not to sign up their house, to list it. You know, even though those are at the back of our mind, when we go out, the goal initially is to make contact. Remember, we're dealing first and foremost with social media platforms here. Facebook is a social media platform, just like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of those. And these rules apply across all those platforms. So you really need to be paying attention to them, and just keep in mind that all we're looking to do initially is to engage people, because at the end of the day, people come onto Facebook. They don't come onto Facebook to look to sell their house. They don't come onto Facebook to find a coach for their business, or they don't come onto Facebook to find a new dog food. So they come on to engage with other people who have got similar interests. They come to be entertained and meet new people. So that's our first goal, is just to meet new people. And because we're meeting people strategically in our niche, because of just what we've covered here, by default, as we get into conversations further down the track, it's logical that our conversation is going to go towards what our ideal or interest or niche is, because we've targeted them and selected them specifically. So the idea here is to grow a social media. The idea of social media marketing, right, is to grow a large warm market, because I'm sure everyone says, when you start a new business or whatever, go and talk to all your friends and family and tell them all about it, and that's good. It's nothing wrong with that at all. But they aren't necessarily, just because you know them doesn't mean they have the same interests as you, and that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They end up going and throwing up their information all over their friends and family, because they're all excited about their new opportunity or business that they're doing, and they expect everyone else to be the same, and they quickly learn that they're not. But by using social media in this way that I'm teaching now, you're going to grow a warm market, and a large one at that, of people that will have a similar interest or in the niche that you are looking to promote. Excuse me. So just remember too that each individual moves at their own rate and speed. So if you are talking to them, the first guy you're talking to might be in a desperate situation, wanting to sell his house right away, and as soon as he hears you, that's what you do, he's like, yep, how can we move forward? I need to get rid of it as quick as I can. Whereas someone else might be thinking, oh, well, in the next couple of years the kids might be, will be leaving the house, so we've got to start planning to downsize. So you can see there that they've got a completely different time frame, even though they both may be interested in selling their house at some stage. So you can just see that. Keep in mind that don't try and use the same approach, as a blanket approach across everyone that you're talking to. Really treat people as individuals, and if you do that, you're going to make great headway. And something else to keep in mind is that discipline and consistency is going to outperform talent. So if you continually work on building your social media audience, you are going to get success down the track. And that's the big mistake people make. They come on to social media and they say, oh, I want to do this and I'm going to do it now, and they just literally go out there hammering away at people, and it doesn't happen in the first couple of days, and they get all because they haven't got the right mindset, and they start wanting to throw in the towel and quit. So because we've gone through and we know that we're in this for the long haul, and a great book that I can recommend that talks on the subject is the book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And that's literally just talking about how, daily, simple, small daily actions compounded over time is going to create a result. It just can't not create a result. Just like a drip of water dripping onto some marble, for example, if it drips continually and over a long enough period of time, it's going to wear a groove into the marble. So the same thing goes with building your business. You're looking to build an audience over time. It's not going to happen, but once it starts, compounding, it starts gathering momentum, and it works exactly the same way. That I'm sure you've heard the story of that compounding penny, where it doubles every day for 31 days, and after 20 something days, it's still only a piddly amount, but by the 30th or 31st day, it's well over $10 million. So you can see how the compounding effect will work the same way if you just consistently take small actions over an extended period of time. And that's what the plan is here, just to go out and meet people on social media to grow your social audience that you can then convert into leads, and then from leads into paying customers. Right, so the next step is what we're going to say to these people once we've identified who they are, where they're going to hang out. How do we go about approaching them? And there's a thing that's called the first message formula that I learned from one of my mentors. And the first is simple. Always treat it as if you were in the same room as these people. So you imagine walking into a networking event like BNI, which is Business Networking International. I'm sure you've all heard of that one. Or any meetup group, that type of thing, or even a social gathering, for example. If you introduce yourself to someone, you would just be normal. And that's the thing with social media. People just for some reason turn all weird as soon as they get on social media. So the thing is to avoid doing that. Just politely introduce yourself, hi, first name, and then the next step is to the reason why you messaged them, plus pay them a compliment. And so this means it's taking a bit of time. You're going to checking out their profile and ask them a question. So you want to ask an open question to engage them in conversation. So a good example is what you do for a living. So if you go to someone that you know's in your niche, say they're following some real estate guru that and you're looking to deal with investors, for example, you can just message them like that. You say, hey, John, I saw the reason I'm messaging you is I see you're also a fan of let's think of Donald Trump, because he's a good property investor, and I saw that you had a great profile picture, and just was wondering, what do you do for a living? Do you invest full time? Something like that. Just a normal question. Just don't be weird. That's the whole thing you want to do here, is not be weird. So here's a little checklist just to make sure that you can go through. Did you use their first name? So just before you actually hit that send button, have you looked at their profile to find out if you have something in common? Do they seem a positive person? Because if if you go on their profile and all they're doing is moaning and complaining, is that really someone that you want to be talking to? Do they have any hobbies that are obvious? There may be a sports team that they follow that you can that you can have something in common with. That's where you can really engage in a genuine conversation, because that's what we're genuinely looking to do here, is to build genuine relationships. So sorry for using genuine so many times, but that's what it's all about. Really being normal and really creating normal, positive, long-term relationships. And that big question, are they someone that you would like to work with at the end of the day? And never, ever, 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 ever send a link to your business or product or anything at all ever in your first time you're talking to them. They must actually ask you for it. Really keep that in mind. And I can't stress that enough. That is probably the biggest turnoff that I have had stressed to me with all the learning and studying that I've been doing about marketing online. That's the biggest mistake people make, is sending someone a link the first time they talk to them. It virtually just repels people instantly. So once you've asked those questions, our next step is to actively listen to the replies. For example, what do they do for a living? And then you can delve into that, act interested. And the old trick is to be interested and not interesting. And if you keep that saying in the forefront of your mind, then you won't make that mistake. How long have you been doing that? is another good one. Just again, genuine conversation that you would have if you were face to face. What made you decide to get into that? What did you do before that? So these are just, just ideas that you can jot down to help you engage with normal conversation, because you can see by asking those questions that, it's very natural. Now, do you enjoy what you do? Have you been affected by the economy at all? Have you ever considered doing something else? Now, what we're trying to do is really delve into that person and find out, we've got a good idea from where we found them of what they're all about, but now we're really trying to hone in and get to know them as an individual. So again, like I say, this is geared towards the home business industry. And so there's some good questions to ask. Do you have any experience in the home business industry? And was it a positive experience? If it was negative, why do you think you didn't succeed or weren't successful in it? And then what is your ultimate goal for your business? Once you know this type of information, then you can figure out how you're going to service them. Remember, we're talking about being that servant leader. How, if you don't know what their troubles and concerns are, how on earth are you going to be of value to them? So, and again, this is around the home business industry of how you want to start launching into presenting your product. You can just say something like that. It may or may not be for you, but are you open to see what I do? And if it's okay with you, can I send you a link? And then are you cool with that? So again, you've got permission. Now this is called permission marketing. We won't send them anything unless it's requested directly for them, or we've had confirmation that yes, they do want to see it. So these are just some alternatives. What to say? Hey, can I ask you a huge personal favor? They'll probably say yes, or depends, and then in which case you can respond with, now I simply wanted to know if that you may be interested in earning some extra money or losing weight, whatever your product is. How would you would you feel comfortable referring to me? So do you know anyone that's looking for that type of thing? So asking it in that third person like that, like if you know of anyone it may be interested in this product or service, it takes the pressure off them, and then almost like, well, you've got them thinking, well, hey, I might be interested, and that's obviously the ideal outcome. But by asking it in the third person, you really take the pressure off them, and they're more likely to engage or continue to engage with you. They might then come back and say, well, yeah, well, what is it? And you respond. Then you can respond with, why are you interested? They might be thinking that initially, but this is a good way to get around that question. And we simply say, well, would you mind if I sent you a short video that explains all about it, and go back to that third party thing, and that way, if you know someone, you would feel comfortable referring to me. So again, taking that pressure off them, so they don't feel like they're being sold. We're there looking for their help. And people like to help people. So if you can put it in that way, you just never know what your outcome is going to be. So again, home business industry, and a lot of people get nervous when they're talking to them, and if they get found themselves out of their depth. But and then again, no matter what line of business you're in, again, looking at the real estate industry, if they they ask you a question, and you can say, well, hey, that's a great question. I'm fairly new here, but let's get my broker on the line and we'll get that question answered straight away. So it's a great way to bring in that third party endorsement. So really keep that in mind. And so it's almost a positive thing when you get stumped by a question, because it really does give you that opportunity to bring someone in that not only can edify you, but they can edify the product itself. And it really just gives you more credibility, because it's all very well, as they say, blowing your own trumpet, but if someone else is out there blowing your trumpet for you, it carries a whole lot more weight. So here's a few more advanced strategies, but that requires an autoresponder and a capture page. And this is, if you don't know what an autoresponder is, it's something, I'm sure you might have heard of, a product called Aweber. This is really just an automated system that stores emails after people enter their name and information into a capture page, much like you would have done when you registered for this webinar. That's a capture page. It could be called a squeeze page, or even some people call it a little website. So all the same thing, really. It's just a place where people can go to enter their contact information, which then goes to an autoresponder, which is a software storage system that literally has messages that can either be pre-written and set to go out in a timed manner. Again, much like on this webinar platform, where you would have got reminders like an hour before, a day before, and then 15 minutes before the start of the webinar. Those all come through from an autoresponder. So this is just that next level up, if you like, than the prospecting we were talking about before. So this is where you're actually talking to them and you want them to go onto your list. So it's a great way that you can meet the people in the same way, but once you've established their interests. What I normally do is I approach people, and I know there's a common interest there. I just say, I do, again, from the home business point of view, I do a marketing newsletter where I share tips and ideas on how home business owners or network marketers, depends on who I'm talking to, if they're affiliate marketers or whatever, and I teach marketers how they can generate leads and sales online. If this appeals, I'd love to shoot it over to you. So again, no links, no nothing like that. I'm waiting for them to say yes, they're interested first. And if they respond yes, then I say, that's great. What's the best email for me to send it to? Now, what I do in this situation is that I actually have my capture page set up. So rather than sending them a link, a lot of people, when they said yes, would just literally send them over your link and wanting them to enter their name and information. But I take it that one step further and say, hey, great, what's the best email for me to send it to? And then get them to supply me with their email, and then I place their email into my own capture page and have them registered that way. That way, A, I know it's done. B, I didn't have to send a link, and it's just one less thing that they have to do, and it's all coming from that place of service once again. And again, you might know this too. You often get friend requests with no message, and it's frustrating, and some people can get annoyed by that, but I actually look at it as a positive thing, because again, people are reaching out to me rather than me having to go find people, and now all I got to do is figure out whether it's someone that I want to engage with and start working on building a relationship with or not. So I respond with a message, something like this: hey, John, again, thanks for sending me through your friend request. As a way to connect further, I do my marketing newsletter, which has all my contact details on it. Send me your best email and I'll shoot it right over to you. So that's, if I don't know who they are, and then they don't respond to this, well, then they're not going to be very engaging, and it's not someone that I want to be wasting my time with anyway. So it really does the weeding out, if you like, because there's no point in just, you see a lot of people racing to get their 5,000 friend limit on Facebook, because that's the maximum amount of friends you can have, and they've got no engagement whatsoever. You're far better off to have far fewer friends, but people that actually want to hear about what you've got to say. So it's coming from a different angle. So it's, again, it puts you in a very postured position, because you're choosing who you dealing with. You're not saying, please be my friend, please be my friend. You're very much, hey, we can connect, but it's going to be on my terms, and that holds you in a whole different postured status, that's for sure. So again, and we can't stress this enough, don't think it's about not building relationships. That's first and foremost. Business is all about relationships. Everyone talks about generating leads, but they forget that at the end of that lead, or that lead is actually a person. It represents a person. And we've stressed this before, people join people, not businesses. And that's the same thing. If you for yourself, you could be looking to buy a pair of shoes, and you walk into a shoe shop and you've got some annoying shop assistant that walks straight up to you, and it's in your face. Even if you saw the shoes you wanted, chances are you're going to just turn around and say, no thank you, not today, and I'll take my business elsewhere. So it's really, really important that you concentrate first and foremost on building a relationship with all the people that you want to try and do business with. And the goal online, and again, no matter what social media platform you're on, you want to be building you Inc. because it all comes back to people joining you. So if you concentrate on you being the best service leader in your real estate company, or out of any companies, for example, if you provide the most value to someone selling their house, then people are going to want to work with you, regardless of which franchise you are working with. So it's so important that you build yourself up, because that's who at the end of the day, people want to work with. And as the old saying goes, everywhere I go, there I am. So really, really concentrate on building you Inc. So what do we mean by value? That's a term that gets thrown around a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone is clear on that. So value means the solutions to the prospect's pain. So as we were talking about earlier, we're identifying the pains that are keeping our prospects up at night. For example, they need to sell their house in a hurry or whatever. That's the value you can bring. You can bring the solution of being able to sell that house in a hurry, or be able to help them grow their home business or their network marketing business or whatever. So that's the value you bring. So the more value you provide, the better off you're going to be, and the faster you're going to grow your business. So now that we're starting to generate our leads, it's time to start growing our relationship with them, because we've asked these people for their email address, for example, and we've got them into our autoresponder or whatever. We've just written them down on a wherever we decided we're going to store them. It could be on an Excel spreadsheet if you haven't got an autoresponder set up. But you need to be able to keep your leads that you are, or people that your prospects that you're talking to. You need to be able to keep them somewhere in an organized fashion, so that you can keep following up with them, because that's the whole idea here. We're growing that warm market. As I say, this is not a quick fix or magic silver bullet strategy that's going to overnight make you an overnight success, so to speak, but it will guarantee you'll start generating leads from tomorrow by following this process. And that I know for a fact, because I've done it. So it's really, we've got to come back to that point of concentrating on growing our relationship with those people. So we need to have somewhere that we can start communicating with them, and that's why an autoresponder is so ideal. It makes it an automated way to keep doing it, because you can start communicating with them via email, and that you can do so by sending out broadcast emails through an autoresponder. You can talk to many people and make them feel like you're talking directly to them. And again, that's what it's all about. Because as the statistics tell us, that it normally takes a minimum of 4 to 7 touches with a prospect before they'll actually become a paying customer or client. So that's where the autoresponder really comes into its own, because we can start communicating with them and over time build a relationship with them by providing them value, answers to their questions. For again, real estate agent can send through on a daily basis one tip a day for a week or a month even, of things to do to your property to get it ready for sale. Just little things like that. And the fortune is most definitely in the follow-up. So that's what this is all about. So, and again, what I was saying, to be able to do this through an automated sales funnel is the ideal way, especially online. And in any brick and mortar business, now yourself, if you go to any department store, chances are when you're checking out, they're going to ask you if you want to join their, subscribe to their mailing list, and they'll offer some incentive to, like a discount or on the purchases that you're currently doing, or something like that, to get you to offer up your contact information so that they can still start communicating with you and building a stronger relationship with you. And we do this much the same way by offering what's called a lead magnet, which is something to entice the prospects to give us their information, for them to give us their information in return for that lead magnet. Much like I was referring to my newsletter, that's the lead magnet I'm offering my ideal prospects. I'm offering them the chance to get onto my newsletter, where I share all those marketing tips in return for their email address, so that I can keep communicating with them. But it's a win-win, because I'm going to keep providing them with value on how they can grow their business, and all they had to do was give me their contact details in return. So just quickly, this is what a sales funnel basically looks like. We have your capture page here, where, again, which is much like, well, exactly like the page you opted in for this webinar. And this is, you can spend money here where you can drive paid advertising to it, or you can bring people into it much in the way I described while you're prospecting with them on Facebook, which is what this training is all about. And so once you've got the information, we enter it here, and then they'll get taken through to the next page, which is normally a welcome video, and it can then pre-frame them to what's going to happen next. So they'll get to the welcome video where I'll be saying something, thank you for subscribing. You should have received my newsletter to your inbox. If you haven't got it, then you can reach out to me. And while you're here, why don't you have a look at this? It's going to, you pre-frame them to your next offer. So, or to a offer. You've welcomed them in and say that they're getting their lead magnet. It's going to their email inbox. So if they haven't given you the correct email, they'll have to go back and re-enter it otherwise they're not going to get what they opted in for, because they've given a fake email. So once you've confirmed that, you can say, hey, this, because you, say for example, are looking to sell your house, you might really look like this home staging package if you go through to this next offer. So that could be another example of what could be offered on this initial offer here. And you're going to make 5% sales there, and then because they're now on your email list, you start following up with them, and this is really where you follow up with offering more and more value. Like we're talking for the real estate people, offering those tips on how to sell their house. So, and then you can start throwing in actual sales offers as well, or which would be in this case, call me when you would like to list your house, and that when they're good and ready, and we know that it's all going to be at different times. For example, the empty nester coming, know that they're going to be wanting to downsize in a year or two, is going to become completely different time frame to the person that is in dire straits and in desperate need to sell their house. But that's how basically the concept of how a sales funnel works. So a little bit more involved, and so don't get too stressed about that. You don't really need it. As I say, we can simply, when you're talking to people on Facebook, like I was describing, you can literally just put the information into a spreadsheet that you can keep it, and then draft emails to go out to them as and when you need them. But certainly a whole lot better and easier if you use automated tools. So this is talking about managing our leads, and I say that little sample sales funnel can look complicated, but it's this is why there are automated systems. And I actually use a system and platform called MLSP, or My Lead System Pro, which basically manages this whole process for me. It allows me to build capture pages that are totally customizable, and I could, for example, build one targeting specifically people looking to sell a property in a hurry, and then I can target another one for people that are considering or maybe considering down the track, and then one specifically for attracting property investors, and again, 3 different target markets completely. This gives me the flexibility to create individual sales funnels for each of those areas. And you might be able to imagine in your own mind right now how in your business you could use a system to create these custom funnels all the way through. This is this product's been around since 2008, which really is a lifetime on the internet. It's well proven, and as I say, I literally run my whole business on it. It's a totally generic platform, could be used on any business, brick and mortar business, or any online business, and so totally flexible, easy to use, comes with all the training. And these are basically the 16 reasons why I actually use this tool. I'll just quickly run through them. It's an affiliate program, so I earn commissions with it. There's chances to make some big up in sales. It has 27 standalone products that I can sell through it. As I say, it's got all the training I need. and they have weekly live training and workshops and daily wake-up calls. It has high converting pre-made lead magnets, so when I'm first starting out, I didn't have to go and create my own. I can actually use some pre-made ones that are all targeted to my ideal market. There's actual social media and email swipe copy, and you can promote up to 3 business opportunities within the program, and so your coaching packages, your real estate business, or any other kind of business whatsoever you can use to promote this. But you can also promote the affiliate products within the program, so you can earn extra money on the side while getting your own business off the ground. And you can produce your own exclusive team trainings in the back office, and it's, again, there's places to make commissions. There's pre-written autoresponder messages. So this is all, for when you're first starting out, you don't, as I say, it can be quite overwhelming, but this system that I use virtually, has everything there done for you. And one of the things I like too is that state-of-the-art CRM, and this is a client relationship management tool. So when we're talking about managing all the people we're talking to on Facebook, this system allows it to be done so effortlessly and easily. It keeps track of all the messages and correspondence that I've had with each individual. So when I go back to talk to them again, and say if I've set a time task to follow up in, say, a couple of days, when that task comes up, it brings back all the past history that I've had with that person. So it's all at my fingertips. I can email them, I can directly access their social media pages, or I can phone them, right from that one page and one platform. Very, very powerful. Then it has the facilities that funnelizer, which I was talking about, is making those custom capture pages and funnels. Again, this, don't let it overwhelm you. It's really, I'm just going through what this entails. So you can track all the leads as they come through, know where they came from. You can host video, audio, and images, and you can create QR codes. So you can create a page and send out a QR code. Those are like those funny barcode-looking things that you see on different products, where people can just literally scan that from their phone and be taken to your website, for example. And now from the 4th of November, it's going to include a fully optimized WordPress blog site that you can basically set up and totally customize to whatever business you have. Again, be it a real estate business, any kind of brick and mortar business, or any online network marketing or home business, you can create your own personal blog, with a few clicks. And these are very, very high quality standalone sites that you own the site, your domain. It's your online real estate. So at the end of the day, the only thing that we can really own online is our list of what we just talked about. We're talking about generating now, a list of ideal prospects, and our own blog. Every other thing, like your Facebook page, you could lose at any time. For example, I know many people that have had their accounts shut down for doing things against Facebook rules and regulations. Now, you might be quite innocent and not realize that you're actually breaking some of the rules. They don't care. They just will shut you down, and it can be gone. So all your hard work can be gone. But if you have your own blog, you own it, you control it, and no one can take it away from you. So the idea of having a blog, regardless of what industry you're in, is that you use your social media to drive targeted traffic to that blog site. So your blog is essentially the spoke or hub, and all your social media channels are the spokes in the wheel that drive your traffic to it. So very, very important to realize that. So if you got some value from this and you would like to come and work with me, you can come and use this system that I'm using too. It's an amazing system, and for $10 you can get access to it completely and take it for a test drive. It's 100% refundable. It's, as I say, $10, absolutely risk-free. If after the 10 days you decide that it really isn't for you, it's not going to suit your business for whatever reason, I honestly can't see why it wouldn't. But you get your $10 back. So absolutely no risk at all. And if you decide that it's something that you want to do, I'll make you an offer here. If you decide to take the trial, I'll give you a free one-on-one coaching call with me. And then if you decide to stick with the program, I will give you a half an hour a week for 3 months, 100% free of charge to get your business up and running and cranking. As I say, I've been doing this for a few years now, and I know I can help you get up and running quickly. And again, I say half an hour there, but it will be as long as it takes to get the job done. I'm not sitting there with the clock running at all. I'm here to help you. This has really changed the way I do business online. It's become an extra stream of income. From the people that don't want to join my business, they can use these tools to grow their own business. So hugely powerful. So really, when I'm looking to grow my own home business, the 90% of people who aren't interested in it are more than likely going to be interested in wanting to come and learn how to market their business that they are doing. So I'm able to offer something to everyone. So very, very, very powerful. So if you wanted to go and check it out, all you've got to do is go to clivejeffrey.com/trial, and then you can access your trial straight away. I'll be notified, and then we can arrange to get in touch. I'll help you get set up, and we work out the best strategy that's going to work for you going forward. And again, we'll target that directly to your strengths and weaknesses and what you find fun. There's so many different strategies out there. Even on Facebook, you can use Facebook video, you can use Facebook advertising, paid advertising, you can use Facebook prospecting, like we've just been discussing here on this webinar, which is by far the quickest, and obviously there's no cost involved apart from your time. The fastest way to grow your business of any kind by doing it what we've covered tonight. If you implement it on a consistent basis, even just for a month, you'd be amazed, absolutely amazed on how things will change within a 30-day period. So go along, clivejeffrey.com/trial, access, sign up and get your trial underway. As I say, you're absolutely 100% risk-free. You've nothing to lose whatsoever. So go ahead and do it, and I look forward to helping you get your business up and going. Now, if you decide, hey, it's not for you, but you'd like to check it out a bit more, come and connect with me. Again, clivejeffrey.com is my blog. I put new training information up there regularly. You can connect with me directly on Facebook by just searching Clive Jeffrey, and all my social media channels are all just Clive Jeffrey. So please, by all means, go ahead, come and look me up, let me know that you've been on the webinar. Let's connect, and let me know how I can help you. That's what I'm here to do. I've been, as I say, moved my business online, and I'm basically transferring all my skills that I've picked up over my career in sales and marketing, which has been over 30 years now, and I'm can help you. So if you're just new to the home business, or any business really, I've got a lot to offer, and I'm here to help and share what I'm learning. So virtually, you've got absolutely nothing to lose whatsoever. So that's basically the end of the presentation for tonight. So let me come back here. Where are we? And we'll stop sharing. There we are. So hopefully you've all got some value from that. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to just enter them in the chat here. I will gladly answer them and help you out in any way that I can. Otherwise, if there's nothing urgent, or nobody has any questions at all, we'll call this a wrap. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the feedback. So thank you everyone for coming along. As I say, reach out and connect with me. I really look forward to getting to know you all, and I'd love to help you in any way that I possibly can. So thank you all for attending tonight, and message me if there's anything else I can do for you. If you'd like a copy of the replay, by all means, reach out to me. And I've done some other trainings where we've gone in depth on how to create lead magnets and the like, and how to get your sales funnels set up. So if you want those trainings, again, just feel free to reach out to me, and I will gladly send them over to you. But most importantly, just connect with me on Facebook, and let's get to know each other and see how we can help each other out. So thanks again for everyone for showing up and watching tonight, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week. We will have a new topic to cover. If anyone's got any special requests, message me, and I'll look into doing that as well. Otherwise, I'll notify you through the week as to what we're going to be tackling next Tuesday. So same time, freetuesdaytraining.com, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night. So thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.